Excellent.
That's right everyone, Dragon Ball Super the manga chapter 60 is here, and from what we can see, what we have been predicting is starting to possibly be going our way in the sense that Vegeta will get to do something, despite Ultra Instinct being the hotness for a very long time. We are still dealing with the traditional Dragon Ball one-upmanship when it comes to transformations, techniques and powers, where they used to be mighty, but then they become also-rans, and really, they're just there for show now and for selling merchandise. Ultra Instinct merch up the wazoo! Anyway, what we can expect today is something that is definitely worth your time because it's not quite as formulaic as you might expect. As I said before, this story that you can get on Viz Shonen Jump Portal has been a very interesting and very worthy successor to the Tales of Dragon Ball Z. And the fact that you can get it digitally really quickly as soon as it comes out, that's just amazing. With the likes of Moro, we really have seen someone who has become quite intimidating. Even though he might have stumbled recently, he may not be as formidable as he was when we first saw him, he's still a very unforgettable character. And in this chapter, I think you'll like him even more. Chapter 60, Merus' Miscalculation. Oh man, that's the understatement of the millennia. Before we begin, do check out the merch store for some cool offerings with the code to make it even sweeter. Use the code SUBS to get 10% off any of your orders if you go to masako.cc/store. And okay, let's remind ourselves about what happened last month in the manga. It's still kind of weird that we have to wait every month, but oh well, it's better than nothing. And oh yeah, about the ranch plush that I talked about last time, yeah, it did get funded, good news. And if you ordered one, you can expect it to be in your home sometime in August. Thank you so much for all of your support in that, by the way. Where we last left off, Goku was about to show off his training with Merus, and how he was now able to call upon at least one form of Ultra Instinct at will. The one, in my opinion, which looks the more intimidating, despite not being the strongest per se. This power was something that did interest Moro somewhat, but as we could see quite clearly early on, he wasn't exactly all that bothered about it. It was a challenge, sure, but he quickly was able to figure out what was going on, and then ultimately bested it by stating that he's not as basic as you might have thought he was. You won't catch Moro getting a Starbucks latte, thank you very much. He has plans of his own, and he has more power in reserve than the Dragon Team or even Merus had anticipated. In any case, from what we could tell back in the last chapter, Vegeta was stuck on Yardrat, having previously snubbed training for instant transmission, and he was unable to come and help unless one brave Yardratian was willing to give him a lift. Now, Goku might have had a better chance if he took Merus' advice about, conserving energy and this power more than he actually had done, but the Angel was starting to realize what he was dealing with here. He was dealing with a Saiyan, and a stubborn one at that. This one is preferring to follow his own script despite being given the best notes possible when tackling Moro. It's literally how to defeat Moro in the best way. Goku's just like, I ain't doing that. Well, at least Goku right now is not being an imbecile like in the anime, he's just being really stubborn. But as you will soon be able to discover, this strategy might not be the best solution for dealing with an intergalactic ram. We resume the story with Merus realizing that Goku has ignored his instructions, and even Whis seems surprised that his student would dare to do such a thing. Whis, buddy? You've trained this guy for a good couple of years now? Surely you would have been able to figure out that Goku can be quite impulsive. He's willing to throw things to the wind, Tournament of Power, he was the one responsible for that. We're now getting some serious Dragon Ball Z vibes here with loads of and grrr, and with Moro looking like he's having the best day ever. Either way, it feels like with the paneling that Toyotaro is plotting out the storyboards for the anime version of this scene. And I'm sure that's something that we hope to see someday, but hey, if you want to make the storyboarders' lives easier, then go for it, Toyotaro. That being said, it does slowly become a little long in the tooth, and we basically feel like, oh okay, right now, they're screaming at each other, it's a game of chicken. Who will launch first and such? It's just them throwing out power to each other and going, I'm more powerful than you, Moro. Grr, no, I am! No, you ain't! Okay, this isn't exactly wise to waste all of this energy just showboating, especially you, Goku, but whatever. We viewers at least are getting some cool shots out of this, so I guess it's give and take. In the end, it's Goku who seemingly manages to make Moro back down from all of this shouting, with Gohan giving the good old morale boosting words for everyone who's there, mostly Piccolo. No, Gohan, what did I say last chapter? You're gonna jinx it! But doesn't seem to be the case right now, because despite Moro preparing to play a game of energy catch, Goku launches forward and starts a game of dragon football. All of this before launching attack after attack. And despite this power being mostly defensive based and less ouchy physically than the mastered form, oh well, it still looks good. It's enough to surprise Moro at least for the moment. For a few seconds, it looks like Goku's doing good, before Moro grabs him and slams him to the floor, followed by more acrobatics and some actually genuinely interesting choreography here. We are getting Goku doing more than just standard theatrics and Dragon Ball Z movesets. Instead, we are getting some good old close quarter work, with some fluid motion to boot, with which the new Shintani style of animation will make sure looks gorgeous. For now though, it's something more dynamic than what we've grown comfortable with over the years, and I like it. This carries on for a while, with Moro and Goku ending in a grip lock, which is quintessential Dragon Ball, before we cut back to Merus and Whis doing their utmost Supreme and Elder Kai impressions. They doubt that Goku can actually damage Moro despite getting some blows on him, with the taller of the two doubting even more so based on what he already knows of this guy. It's not every day that we get Whis looking quite pessimistic, and it's actually quite good to see him not treating everything like a walk in the park. It seems to be genuine concern, or at least as close to concern as you can get for an angel. Sure enough, Moro has indeed been holding back and entertaining this transformation. It makes sense, really. He already knew what this power was from Legend, and what it was roughly capable of doing, and now having been subject to it firsthand, he had all the proof he needed to know that he would win out ultimately, if this were to continue, and it was just a matter of time before he won. This mood of Moro's is very interesting. He's not showing anger or frustration, he's being shrewd, assured, and aggravating for Goku. He knows what he's doing. Goku, on the other hand, he's not enjoying this challenge right now. Usually, he should be excited to fight a really strong guy. No, he's getting annoyed. This is something very different. We then get a transition to Vegeta on Yardrat, after the angels talk about Saiyan's strength and its boundless limits under fire, and sure enough, Pibara is also amazed with the fact that Vegeta has so much speed in practical training. Now all he needs to do is to get to Earth with a lift from Pibara. But that would be too easy. You can't just have that instantly happen, and in a shock twist, sort of, nobody from Yardrat can actually leave. They are honor bound by unwritten rules never to leave the planet using their traditional technique, and even if they could, they'd have to have known somebody first before going, and since they can't leave the planet, then they have to come to them, so yeah. It's actually quite an interesting rule set. It seems to be actually quite fair. I mean, they have to have some kind of limitations, and it's added to for the fact that even if they know Goku, thanks to the use of him using God Ki, he can't be tracked. Okay, very clever, Toyotaro. It adds more peril and makes the prince regret his idea to reject instant transmission earlier. And this isn't some kind of MacGuffin, this is genuinely the case. God Ki, you can't register energy. It actually makes sense. I must say, this is quite nuanced indeed, and I am really enjoying this addition. This means that Vegeta now has to go, "Alright, I'm just gonna learn it right now, because I can, I'm Vegeta!" He's gonna learn this technique in a matter of minutes. Oh my, I didn't realize it would be this rapid, and I'm actually kind of keen to see how this goes. Meanwhile, Goku is now starting to fail in his power, and some of these artworks look very organic indeed, especially with Goku being kneed in the torso. That looks like it hurt. This looks very natural, unlike Tadayoshi Yamamuro's modern Dragon Ball style, now yesteryear. Either way, Gohan is continuing to be relevant by shouting stuff, and Piccolo's there going, "Ugh!" And now the Saiyan's on the floor being pestered with. He does not like this, and then gets really mad, and slams into Moro at the worst possible moment. Now, okay, I apologize for the outdated meme that I'm about to recall, but it's just too good to pass up. Moro, he's firing his laser ball! Whis and Merus are left desolate at this, and Beerus, he's left hungry. What stops the laughter track though, is that Whis and Beerus are acting very neutral to all of this, despite wanting to interact with the Earthlings practically all the time up until now. They've interfered before, with Broly playing with him in the movie. Now they're being all high and mighty. It's hypocritical, sure, but at least, okay, this is a good reason for them not to interfere and just swoop in and take out all of the peril, flicking Moro out into the ether. Okay, something. Goku is down and about to be dried up by Moro's energy attacks. That is until the androids show up. They divert the attention of Moro to backflip out of there and then go, haha, you can't drain us. This does interest Moro for a second and allows us to check in on Vegeta to find himself in a trash can. Oh, come on, jeez, you're not trash yet. You got a few years left in you. That being said, Goku's energy can be sensed now, and Pibara offers to help take the prince to Earth, but Vegeta is now choosing to be all stubborn and going like, no, I want to do it myself. I can do it. But at least he says thanks before he bounces. Not before he gets to change of clothes, though. That's actually kind of touching. His clothes. And in his mind, that was easily the greatest thing they've ever produced. The androids are now doing their bit against Moro and seem to be doing okay against him. Well, at least they're not getting hurt or anything. But that's okay now, they've done their bit because Vegeta has now arrived and ready to do his duty. I mean, not before warding it over a weakened Kakarot though, come on, this is the prince after all, he can't be all noble all the time. Either way, he talks the talk, does his signature thumbs up and goes into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution before launching himself at Moro, much like Goku did in Chapter 58, before the Chapter 60 ends. All in all, this arc was very action heavy, and that action was pretty well drawn, and something that felt very different to what we've grown accustomed to over the years. You know, with Dragon Ball mostly key projectiles being flung about all over the place. Sure, it's in here too, but Goku's Ultra Instinct Sign power, even though it's not the strongest, it lends itself to moves which are very agile and natural, which is very amazing to see being drawn by Toyotaro. One thing's for sure, the manga artist is certainly improving. It's just a shame that he doesn't allow the characters to break out of the panels to try and add some more real impact, like take up an entire page. It's not bad though, and the content of said panels is very nice to look at, it's getting better. What is also really good to see is that Vegeta is being genuinely skilled at learning new powers. Vegeta's basically going, yeah, I got skills, what are you gonna do about it? He was seriously showcasing his potential and knack for learning stuff. He is showing exactly why, technically, he is the better fighter out of he and Goku. Goku may have the raw potential, but Vegeta can easily catch up and sometimes surpass his fellow Saiyan through sheer grit. Also, it's nice to see gratitude coming out of his mouth. So yeah, this chapter was definitely fun to read and view as the fight sequence was very good. And the way Moro was conveyed throughout all of this was truly a masterclass in doing something different and not making Goku into someone who likes every single fight. He's really nettled about this one, and this different reaction will be remembered for a very long time. So what do you guys think of Chapter 60? Has this gotten you curious for what's about to come, or do you feel that Vegeta's going to stumble at the last minute and Goku will get the win anyway? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going before next month's Chapter 61. Until then guys, catch you later!